Good morning, everybody. Welcome to 2026, y'all. I guess it's just me today. I'm starting the year off brave because speaking to a camera is not my love language. But here I am. We'll see if Dom comes on sometime soon. Or Ryan, or Blaze, or anybody else. What's up, MP? Good morning. Just to prepare and front load this conversation today, I'm going to drop this little linky in the chatty. And if anybody feels like joining me today, first come, first serve. How was New Year's? What'd you guys do? Did you do anything different? Do you have something that you do every year? New Year's for us, good. I don't want to use the word good. We were all here. My mom was here. We played some games, drank some drinks. And something I did differently this year, me and my daughter, my oldest daughter, I've never watched, what's it called? Stranger Things. Anybody else? Stranger Things? Never watched it. I watched the first half an hour a long time ago. Didn't really hit, but then my daughter said she wanted to do it. So we spent New Year's Eve watching the first 3 episodes, which was awesome for 2 reasons. Number one, she's 12. I was automatically assuming that she would have had plans with friends and wouldn't have been here. But she was. And while the other 2 were upstairs sleeping with everybody else, we got to watch that. I am not a scary movie person. I can watch anything else, but I don't do horror movies very well. But we did it. We watched the first 3 episodes, realized it was 11:45, and we went for a drive. Took about an hour drive through a little bit of the Front Range here in Colorado, through Longmont, some of the back roads, found some high spots, and watched some fireworks. And it was really, that's how I always envisioned a New Year's Eve, is observing how other people do it. I've done it many times in the past. I've went camping up in the hills around here to watch fireworks on 4th of July. There's just something about seeing how other people celebrate things that for some reason really intrigue me. MP New Year's was good. Babe was in by 6:30. Awesome. Played Mario Kart and Super Smash. The 2 boys around 10:30 and then straight to bed. Got woken up by fireworks and the dogs freaking out. Adulting. MP, question for you. As a parent and dog owner now, generally, I might assume that you're a fan of fireworks like I am, but when I have sleeping kids and dogs that hate fireworks, I am now super adult mode. I'm like, who are these knuckleheads firing off fireworks and disturbing the family? Then I get a little annoyed by that. But otherwise, fireworks, I love it. Love fire, love the works, love the sparkle. So yeah, we went for a drive. My daughter's going through a little bit of a middle school discontinuation of a crush. In the eyes of a middle schooler, probably the first big breakup. So we got to talk a little bit about that, which was more me talking about breakups than her like sharing. But I did want her to feel like, this is something that many people go through, and mom and dad have been there. Got to share my first breakup story, where it's like I ran and I drove a lot. Like I drove to visit people. And I think that's just kind of one of the things that kind of tie into like taking drives and seeing things kind of from above. Just, I don't know, gives me a little bit of perspective on making bigger problems a little bit smaller and manageable and a little more bite size. Oldest dog is gun shy. Big dog could care less. Yeah, my dogs couldn't care less. No, could care less. They care a lot about it, is what I'm trying to say. Uh, they go kind of nuts. Sorry, picking up my phone. Oh, that hurts. Okay, you got land, so not uncommon. Yeah, if you got land and you want to do fireworks, go ahead. Yeah, shots from hunting deer season. We are not in a hunting deer season. We are in an HOA, which I'm sure has some fireworks laws that are being broken. But despite that, I really don't like HOA laws at all. It's a kind of annoying. We have to put up, so I try to put up this fence for my dog that keeps jumping out. Every episode I have to like disappear outside to get my dogs. Most of the times because my one dog, Freya, jumps the fence. I put up an extension, and being an awesome and smart dog, found her way around it. So now I got to go to version 2. We'll see what happens with that. What else? This morning, my back has been terrible. Sprained my back, went to the chiropractor on the 31st. Thank God Dr. Alex was open. Got a sprained SI joint. If you don't know what the SI joint is, if you ever sprain it, you will know what it is, because apparently it makes everything else work fine. Because right now I'm moving around like a old person. I did go to the gym today, but just a stretch, just like deep stretches that I should probably do anyway, but I tend to reserve for when I'm injured. Fun fact, moved from the HOA for more land, but the deciding factor is when I was on the board, another member tried to fine me for not bringing in my trash. Oh God, do not. Oh man. No, you can. Please vent. Trash can rules. Good Lord, people. Can we not prepare for the trash can man? That's like the worst. Yeah, it's like, why do we pay this money? I don't even know what we get for our HOA fees. I think we get half of our streets plowed, as in the one half that's already in the sun, and the other half that's in the shadow does not get plowed. I think that's what we're paying for. We don't have a pool. We don't have any fancy, awesome. Well, we had one party. I guess there was one like neighborhood get together, but that was it. Like, what the heck? And then they have the nerve for when we have to get a notice. They send it to us through the mail, through certified mail, that we have to pay for. That's the worst. I don't understand. I don't understand. I normally don't say I don't understand, but this really grinds my gears. That is something we have to deal with. So sorry, Rose Farm makers. Those are my thoughts. Worst part was his parents lived with him and his partner, and the parents would walk around taking pictures. Oh yeah, the old people. Remember, like the first month we moved in, there was some old guy came around, and I was sitting in my garage, and you're just taking pictures of my yard. And at first, I didn't think of anything of it. I didn't even say anything, because I didn't really mind. But then I realized, oh, these people are like looking for stirring up shit. I don't know. Are they bored? Is this what they care about in HOAs? But man, good morning, Brian. Yeah, you're right. Anyway, let's move on to, what are we talking about today? It's the 2nd. We're out of December. If you're reading the Daily Dads with us, December is all about death and dying and moving on, and the finite number of awesome things you get to do with your family, whether they're good or they're bad. And we're past that. And now we're into the rebirth stage of the book, which is now the third time I'm reading it. And I didn't write anything down the past 2 years. I wrote some things down today. Something that I can possibly reflect on next year. So doing my future self a favor, by just capturing some notes from this stage. And most of it was based on the reading, which is kind of about, I'm not going to read it verbatim because that'd be illegal, but we're kind of talking about how your kids notice everything you do, whether it's like your best day, whether it's like just those random Tuesdays or Wednesdays that maybe you're not at your best. They're still watching you. They're still picking up those habits. One of the questions I dropped in the episode is, until I forget what I put down, but I thought they were good. I had a few questions, but I just put two. Brian, I hope you're getting your stretching in because I need the biggest groin smash ever right now. Everything's tight because I'm compensating. My legs are tight, my back is tight, my shoulders are tight because of the stupid little back joint that makes everything work. So today, talking about habits, what are the habits that your kids are picking up from you? I had to think about it for a bit because they're not very obvious. Like the big things that kind of come to me is like my middle kid's really good about getting up early, making her own breakfast. She's already dressed. Something that I haven't asked her, but I'm assuming that maybe she picked that up from me. I guess I don't know. But I was just kind of thinking about, the like how are me and Kristen, how are we normally in the house? Like what's our normal setting, our default setting? Like is it stressy? Is it carefree? Is it anxious? It's like what do they mostly see us doing? Are we with them enough? So like it kind of helped kind of made me like kind of think about like what do I do when I get home from work or on a Saturday? What do they observe me doing the most? Um, like if I go to mornings, normally it's at least one kid notices me coming in from the garage, or at least one kid notices me coming up from the basement after doing this little session every day. Usually with Dom. I hope Dom's sleeping and getting some good rest today. But I would say the noises, house noises. This is connected, I promise. Like what are the noises? Like what are the triggers that get the day going? And for me, I would say it's me coming upstairs, closing the dog gate behind me, and that's kind of when my day starts, when that clicks. I'm also wearing shoes usually, which Kristen hates. Sorry, Kristen. Um, but I'm wearing shoes because I'm usually back from the gym or doing something. And I'm glad I get that time in the morning. That's something, one of my 2025 resolutions was to protect the morning time. That's where that's the only time I got. So, usually require shoes. So, like, do they notice me walking around in shoes, like the noise of shoes, as opposed to slippers or bare feet on the ground? I don't know. That's just a tiny thing I'm thinking about. I'm just rapping, y'all. Um, Up and up at 4:30 latest, and not home until 4:30 on gym days. So as soon as they see you, it's dada. That's awesome. It's built in. Um, First guy I see is normally my 6-year-old, and I'm still getting hugs. The other two, I get a good morning. My oldest, usually the last to come down because she's getting her fit, getting her drip going. Then she comes down and rushes her breakfast. Weekends, and as soon as they hear me grind the coffee grinding, that's my memory. I remember most from growing up on weekdays is the coffee grinding and coming downstairs to the smell of coffee. So I'm assuming, and I probably almost 100% guarantee that part of that MP is the aroma of fresh coffee, which is awesome. Even before I liked coffee, that was a great smell. Coffee is kind of like uh, vanilla concentrate, vanilla extract. It smells awesome. Doesn't taste so good unless it's with everything else. But that's one thing. Coming downstairs, my dad was reading the paper. He was always sitting. He's always like chill. Like I remember, like my mom was usually at work early. Like she usually left first, And doesn't matter what day it was, my dad was normally like sitting, reading the paper, had a coffee, and that was it. And part of me at this point is like, how can one be so relaxed in the morning? Because like I'm sure there's many people where the morning is the least relaxed part of the day. But he did it. He did it, and he was a teacher, and he was cool as a cucumber. I've guessed the night before and set a timer. Yeah, the timer's nice. I feel like I treat myself a little bit when I put the timer on, but I don't always do it. Blaze
What's up, dude?
live, and you're
Can you hear?
not in a car or a closet. You did it.
I'm here. How are you?
Good. I was just going over the last few days of the break. Back on the wagon of the morning. Um, I'm off today, starting back up on Monday. So I'm trying to kind of reorient myself with how I want my mornings to go. But man, this is a New Year's and Christmas gift all wrapped into one for me. How
You
have you
know, I'm glad to be here, and I'm trying to jump back in this year. Um, what? Let's see. What's today? It's Friday. I've been off
been? Second.
work for a week and a half. Of course, as soon as I log in, my dog starts barking. But
It's okay.
what
That's
do you
me.
do?
That's my every morning on these.
But I'm living my best life. I already went to the gym, went to the post office, meditated, said hello to myself. Oh, I went to the sauna for 20 minutes. We're just like firing on all cylinders right
So I haven't seen you in what feels like months. Is that still like a normal morning for you?
now. I want it to be my normal morning. But to do that, I have to go to the gym at 5 a.m. And sometimes it's just really hard to get up that early. But today I said, let's do it. And I did it.
Yeah. So sorry, I missed if that was your normal morning. I know it's hard because that's my gym time too is 5.
It's I'm really trying hard to work out in the morning because I need to start training for getting up early for golf. And so new year, new me, and worked out yesterday, worked out today, got up at 4:30. It's all about knowing where my keys are, laying my clothes out, and then getting out the door by like 4:45.
Yeah. I would say that's the best version of me is things are prepared the morning before. Very much like MP sets up coffee for his guests. But so since I mean we've been in touch through chat and it seems like you don't sleep. That's what I get from all the things that you have been handling recently is like you got school, you got your kids. We talked a little bit about our 2026 venture ideas. Seemed like you had a few loaded up, and it seems like they're all stacked. Like they're all kind of leaning on the others beneath them.
Yep,
Is that kind of like a correct assessment?
100%. I think everything I'm trying to do venture wise revolves around social media. There's there is like some nursing stuff that doesn't revolve around social media, but I'm also thinking about I always think about like I'm a nurse, I teach nursing school. Why am I not sharing something like that in some kind of social channel? But then it also goes with, well, that's one of the reasons why I do this is because I want something unrelated to all my like 9 to 5 stuff, but I might have to lean into it at some point.
Gotcha. And remind me, you're not taking any classes. You're teaching the classes,
Yep.
right? Yeah. So I know like you had graduation. I remember I think you were dressed very nicely. Was it a wedding? Was it a goddaughter wedding? Was that what it was?
Oh yeah,
Niece wedding?
our nanny. I haven't
It was your
talked to the
nanny.
chat. Our nanny got married, which was crazy. So um, it doesn't happen a lot because there's like a nanny handler because it's through an agency. Um, she's really an au pair, but she's like, I've never had an au pair get married before. So I think it's really cool that we were able to bring somebody into our house. And I mean, obviously it helps take care of our kids, but then, they have a social life too. And she met her husband, and now they're like they're like married. So it's crazy.
And she's been with you that entire time through like the meeting of the husband, the courtship, and now into the marriage.
Yep.
Awesome. Do you know the husband?
We have a little bit. We've talked. I don't know that much about him, but he seems like a nice guy. And the au pair met him at church, and they started dating, and they got married. And he seems like a great guy.
And will this marriage affect, which is a good thing, by the way, um, will the marriage affect the nannying of your kids at all?
So we actually have two au pairs right now because the one well, actually we have zero au pairs right now because they're all on vacation because we have to get them on vacation, which it's an honor to give people vacation. Um, but starting next week, we're going back down from two au pairs to one au pair, and she's moving out and in with her husband, and she's going through like the whole like green card process, and so we'll have another au pair. So it'll be interesting because she'll be with us for another year. Will she get married because we've only had one au pair and that one got married, so we'll continue the trend. Or not, it'll be, who knows.
Is an au pair specifically French?
No. So from my understanding, an au pair is someone who, I don't know if they're all international, but someone who comes and lives with you and takes care of your kids. I think that's what an au pair is.
That's what I understand it to be too, but I always assumed it was like European or something. Did you grow up, or your wife, did you grow up with au pairs? Because it seems like a very like I mean, obviously, if parents are very busy, that makes sense. Did you grow up with an au pair as well, or did your wife at all?
No, neither of us did. My wife travels a lot for work though, and her like business has boomed over the past 2 or 3 years, so she travels like a ton. And so I think she's really big on like life hacks. So I think that it got to the point where it just seemed like the logical thing to do. And so it just helped out tremendously because she travels a lot. And so then it was me like trying to figure out how am I supposed to work and get the kids on the bus and off the bus and to all their activities and everything. I don't think we'll have one forever. And so that's what I think about like all the time is at what point won't we have an au pair? But financially it unlocks a bunch of stuff. And then I don't have to worry about like if I have a meeting run late or something like that and all that stuff.
So, what does a day like? I'm really curious about this. Like, what does a day look like with an au pair? Like, let's say, because I'm imagining what that role would look like in our house.
Mhm.
Is it like, are they the first ones up? Do they take care of like the waking up and breakfast and everything? And do they do meals, or is it mostly just the childcare?
So they can do anything related to the kids. So like they can do the kids' laundry, they can make the kids food, they can take the kids places. Um, what they don't do is I can't be like, all right, make the kids chicken nuggets and fries, but then also make me like steak and asparagus every night or Brussels sprouts. Um, or have them like do my laundry or like clean my bathroom or um, I mean every now and then they like help out. And so one of the common misconceptions is people are always like, oh, Blaze, you can do whatever you want because you have no pair. You could go to like Hawaii or golf trips or go visit Jason in Colorado, but they can only work like up to 45 hours a week. So it's still like, and I was a manager for a long time, so that helped me out. Whereas like I still have to like schedule them for certain hours, um, and they still need for the contract like each week they have to have a day and a half off like in a row, and so always like planning around that stuff. But they wake up, they get the kids up, feed them, get them on the bus. I like to help with that stuff, so it's not like 100% them. But sometimes I have to go to work early, and so I can't be at the home. So that's what they do. And then they're off during the day where the kids are at school, and then they normally get the kids off the bus. The kids still go to aftercare 3 days a week, so they can pick up the kids from aftercare. It sucks right now because we have one that's still in daycare and two that are in elementary. And so we usually divide it up where like they'll pick one up or I'll pick one up. Um, and so that's all the stuff. And then they help. Usually they're done by like 7 o'clock at night or 8 o'clock at night, depending on the day. Because we still usually do bedtime with them, like hang out, family time, and all that stuff. But it's nice because like every other Friday, I try to get them to work a little bit later till like 9. And so there we have a built-in babysitter if Heather and I want to go out on dates, or we might just want to go and like, be by ourselves. But a lot of the times they're like, are the kids doing anything tonight? And I'll be like, no, you can be done earlier or whatever.
So what was the last thing you said? Put them down early?
We'll let them go like earlier. Like they were scheduled to work till 9. They'll be like, hey, like I'm just gonna take the kids to the movies, or usually
Oh,
we like push
okay.
Friday night. So yeah.
And they stay with you.
Yep. They have their own room in the basement, and they have to have their like own room, their own bathroom is like the big things.
Gotcha. Okay, so I'm going to attempt to tie this to today's theme, which is about the habits that our kids see us doing. And part of that is like all the little things, like those in between moments where kids are still observing, but we may not be at our best. You reference like the school pickups and like the transportation stuff and like those little, I guess those little like garbage moments, those transition moments. Um, does having an au pair, and I guess I'll use like the school pickup because school pickup, Kristen does that, and that's normally like takes place in the last few hours of her workday, where she's probably handling a call on the way, or she might be preoccupied with something relating to work. A time where you're probably not. I would assume you're probably not focused on like what the kids are seeing you do. Does having an au pair eliminate any of those times where you may otherwise be a bit preoccupied or stressed?
Oh yeah, like 1,010%. Like I feel better when I get to work out and do all that stuff with Heather traveling all the time. Like I wouldn't get to do that much self-care stuff if we didn't have that person in our life. I mean, I probably could get more help from my like mom and dad and stuff, but still, like that's like an extra chore with everything doing that. And then I don't have to worry about that stress of like rushing from work because I never know when something's like going to pop up. So I think that it does eliminate some of that stress, but I think it's also a big reminder for me that when I'm with my kids, trying to be as present as possible, which can be really difficult.
So you have less time with your kids, but the trade-off is they see you a bit more at your best.
Yeah, I think we get to spend more quality time together.
Gotcha. That's a good trade. I
Yeah.
enjoy that. That's awesome. What else? I had another question that's sort of leaving me right now. I'm taking mom turn to the airport. She's in town for 2 days.
Oh, nice.
Then going on a how many days, mom? 93-day Australian cruise. 93 days. So I got to jump off here and get her to the airport. Anything else? What else? How are you, Blaze?
Oh,
Feel
we're,
like
do-
just I don't know.
we're doing good. There's a
Hear
lot of
it,
background noise.
anything.
We're doing good. I love the beginning of the year because you get to set out all the different things in life that you're like, it's a fresh start. And so, like, talking all that business stuff they were talking about, but then also just like, what do I want to do with the kids? What do I want to do with the house? What do I want to do with my free time, vacations, and just making all those connections and everything. So, really, sorry, I'm a little bit distracted.
Fine. This is I'm about to get distracted in approximately 45 seconds.
But I wanted to say that with the reading today, just always thinking about when you're at your worst and like all that these different things. Hey guys, what's up? Okay. All right. I have to go move cars around, but Jason, so good to see you, and I hope to see you more this year.
I love seeing your face. Such
Love
a good
seeing your
way to
face.
start off 2026. Well, I hope it's not the last time of 2026.
Nope, I'm gonna try and jump in more, and sorry, I'm a little flustered, but Happy New Year. So good to see you. I want to hear about your year and how you're doing, but I know you have to take Mrs. Turner to the airport.
Yeah,
And
we'll do that. We have all year, Dom, so we'll definitely get into that.
sounds good.
All right.
All right.
You have a great day, Dom. Enjoy your time. I'm logging off here. I'm out. Thanks, Mom, for being my au pair, letting my dog out.
Love it.
Yeah, enjoy your last weekend before the week starts up, getting into your routines again and your habits. What are you going to continue to do? What are you going to stop doing? And what are you going to start anew?
Love it.
All right.
Cheers.
Cheers, mate. I will see you when I see you.
Yep. Later.
Peace, y'all.